Hi, my name is Mike. I'm 18 years old. I live in Oshawa. On November 16th, the Premier of Ontario, Mr. Dalton McGuinty, and our Transportation Minister, I don't know what his name is, came out and said that they were going to make changes to the driving laws for teenagers. I think these new laws that they are proposing are complete and utter crap. I do have respect for the Premier. I see where he's going with this because I have seen stupid teen drivers. But on another note, I've seen more adults driving irresponsibly than teens. This coming Friday, the 28th, I turn 19. I've been driving for 2 years. On Friday, it will be 2 years I've been driving, and I have one 10 over speed limit on my record. I think that I drive fairly responsibly, and I want to know why the government plans on changing all these laws. They're going to ruin it for 80% of good teen drivers just because of the 20% of bad ones. I have read several comments on the Facebook group wall. I am also a member of that Facebook group. There's a lot of very good points on there that I think Mr. McGuinty and the Transportation Minister should read. One of my favorites is by a girl who says she thinks that it is very wrong of the government to be bringing these laws to teens, but not to adults. She says that if they're going to make laws for teens, there should be no special circumstances. The rule for teens should be the rule for everybody, and I think she's right. I'm getting sick and tired of the government singling out teen drivers all the time, because I hate to say it, but just as many, if not maybe even more adults, do the exact same thing, or maybe even worse, as teen drivers do. For example, we had this lady that lived down the road from us. We nicknamed her Speedy because she used to come down our road doing about 70 kilometers an hour in I think it was a 2006 Corvette. I mean, it's a residential street, 25-kilometer-an-hour limit. There's children at play, but she didn't seem to care. Another lady that lived down my road was pulled over. She was telling me she got pulled over by the police for doing 127 kilometers an hour in a posted 80-kilometer-an-hour zone. She's 42 years old. The officer let her off with a warning, even though she has had previous convictions which show up on her driving record. My next door neighbor, before I moved to Oshawa, when I was living in Lindsay with my parents, my former next door neighbor passed my mom on our street, which, like I said, is a 25-kilometer-an-hour zone, while the children were walking up to the elementary school bus stop. I want to know why this is tolerated. I have called the police several times to come down to the neighborhood because I am tired of people speeding through there, and the police don't seem to care. I don't know why this can be tolerated, because what happens if that lady had hit and or killed a child? Then what? But don't forget, though, Dalton McGuinty wants to blame everything on the teens because, the teens are really bad drivers. I've personally been tailgated by more adults than I have teens. I mean, yes, I have been tailgated by teens, but more adults than teens have tailgated me. Last spring, I was caught doing 90 kilometers an hour in an 80-kilometer-hour zone. The police officer asked me if I had anything on my record. I told him no. He checked it and came back and said, yes, you're right. Yet, he still gave me a speeding ticket. So what I don't understand is why did, I was 17 at the time, I believe. 17, no, I would be 18. I was 18 at the time, like I am now. It was this past spring. 18-year-old, I get a $40 speeding ticket. Mind you, it's only $40, but I still got a ticket for doing 10 over the speed limit. But my neighbor, who was going 47 kilometers over the speed limit, got nothing but a slap on the wrist. Last winter, another example, last winter, my 10-year-old brother and I were on our way to pick my mom up from work. He was 10 at the time. He's turning 12 now. It was snowing very badly. It was a crazy blizzard out there, but I mean, I had to pick my mom up from work. So I was driving between 50 and 60 kilometers an hour in an 80 zone because of road conditions. Roads were slippery and covered in snow. I was passed by an adult male, probably around 50 years of age. He cut me off, pulled around me, pulled right in front of me, cut me off. I lost control of the car, and I slid off Highway 36 into a 12-foot ditch and hit a tree at the bottom. When the tow truck arrived, the driver told me that if I hadn't hit that tree, I would have barrel rolled. Thank God everything was okay, but what happens if we had have rolled? My 10-year-old brother could have died. But let's not forget that our Premier and Transportation Minister blame teens for all the driving screw-ups that go around. It's always the teen's fault. Doesn't matter what happens, the teen is always the cause of the accident. Driving with friends is a necessity to teens and to their well-being. And as big a load of crap as that sounds, it's true. When you're driving around with friends, you're happiest. Most people are happiest that they are in a long time. It builds up self-esteem and gives them a great deal of confidence in themselves. I do understand the Premier's idea of the zero blood alcohol level, but I think that should go for all people, no matter how old, how young, how sick, how healthy. I don't think you should be able to drive with blood alcohol level of anything or under the influence of drugs, alcohol, whatever it may be. I don't think it should be allowed. It is dangerous. But the part I don't understand is what's with the automatic suspension. So if I get caught doing 5 kilometers an hour over the limit, automatically my license is suspended. But they just caught Billy Bob down the road doing, 40 kilometers an hour over the speed limit, and he gets nothing but a ticket. I don't think that's fair to us drivers. And the same thing with the limit of passengers. For me, I have every Saturday night or Sunday night, Friday night, whatever it may be, me and my friends go out. There's about 4 or 5 of us that go out. I have a 97 Pontiac Grand Prix, so I've got enough seats in there and enough working seat belts. So basically what the Premier and the Transportation Minister are saying is that they want us to stop carpooling with our friends and go back to everybody driving their own vehicle because they feel that's safer. Even though right now they're going on and on about global warming and how, all these gases are polluting the environment, but now they're turning around and going back to exactly the way it was before. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's fair the way that the teens are being treated these days. Like I said, yes, I understand where the Premier's coming from, but I think he's taking it too far. This has just gone on far too long. I think Dalton McGuinty needs to stop complaining about teens and their driving and start focusing on some of the adults that got their license out of a friggin' cereal box. Because I've seen worse drivers that are adults than teens. And I don't like being put in the category as a bad driver when I've only got 1 speeding ticket to my name. That's not fair to me. This video I wanted to make because I wanted people to know how I felt. I hope Dalton McGuinty gets to see this video because I want to fight for my right as an Ontario driver in this country. I paid a hell of a lot of money to get my driver's license, to do my driver's ed, driver's training, whatever you call it, licensing fees, road test fees. I should be able to enjoy it. So Mr. McGuinty, stop stripping us teens of what we rightfully paid for and is now ours. We don't deserve it. Think, too, if you keep this up, think about how many votes that you're going to lose. Because don't forget, the majority of this province is made up of teens. If you piss us off, you're not going to get any votes. I am afraid to say this, but you know what? I think you're turning into the next Mike Harris, and I don't like it. Mike Harris was a prick. When you first came into Parliament, you were doing such a great job. You keep this up, people are going to start hating you even more and even more. I would like to say that there will be a protest on this topic at Queen's Park on December 20th, 2008, starting at 8 a.m., running until 4 p.m. I urge everyone who can attend to attend. If you are unable to attend this event, please sign the online petition at www.petitiononline.com/whydon't/petition. Thanks to all the supporters. Keep up the good work. Let's not go unheard on this. Let's voice our opinions. Let's show them what we want.